This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Good morning and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Friday, November 12. In Squiz Kids Today, wild and wacky weather weekend, London's venomous sharks, Mr. Beast saves the oceans, and introducing Squiz Kids Correspondent. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Rainfall records have already been broken, and there's a wet and wild weekend on the way for large parts of the country as two weather systems collide over the centre and east of Australia, causing rivers to flood and temperatures to plummet. The Todd River in Alice Springs, in the usually dry centre of Australia, had actual water running through it this week after the heaviest day of rainfall there in just under 20 years. There's a link in today's episode notes to footage of the rare event. Yesterday, it was the turn of northern New South Wales and southern Queensland, where daily rainfall records for November were broken and more rivers swelled and broke their banks. South Australia too copped a drenching yesterday as what's called a low-pressure system hovered over the state. A low-pressure system is a weather system often associated with rain, and that rain is expected now to move east across New South Wales into the ACT and down into Victoria, with weather forecasters warning the southern states could be in for a very wet weekend. And as if all of that isn't enough, temperatures in the south are also expected to drop, with Canberra expecting a top of only 12 degrees on Saturday, and Melbourne being told to expect a maximum temperature of only 15 degrees over the weekend. But at least that's mildly better than Tassie, where snow has been forecast for the weekend ahead. Because, we're 3 weeks away from the start of summer. Makes perfect sense.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a new story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in England, where venomous sharks have been found in the River Thames. Venomous means they produce poison. If you've ever been to London or seen photos of it or seen it on the telly, you'll know the River Thames as the brown, dirty-looking river that runs through it. A new study of wildlife in the river, though, has revealed there are lots more animals living in it than previously thought, including seahorses, eels, and a shark called a spur dog, which has venomous spikes on its fin. Cool. 60 years ago, the river was so polluted that scientists declared it biologically dead, meaning it was too dirty for marine life to live in. But a recent health check of the river has found it is much cleaner and home now to all sorts of interesting creatures. I've stuck a link in today's episode notes to photos of the venomous shark. I mean, seriously, as if sharks aren't terrifying enough.
Pop Culture Corner.
Hands up if you've heard of Mr. Beast, the YouTuber, with over 70 million followers of his incredible and incredibly expensive online stunts. Like, the last one to take their hand off the Lamborghini wins it. And how about Mark Rober, the former NASA and Apple engineer who is also a YouTuber with millions of followers? Yeah, I thought so. My kids love them too. Well, Mr. Beast and Mark Rober have done it again. In just a few days, they've raised over $14 million to clean up our oceans, beaches, and rivers. Hashtag Team Seas is similar to their 2019 hashtag Team Trees effort, which raised $20 million and is still planting over 2,000 trees every day. Hundreds of other content creators all over the world, like Dan TDM, are making videos for the massive fundraiser, and their online followers are responding by donating. The goal? To raise $30 million by January 1. I've popped links in your episode notes to Mr. Beast's video, in which he and a team spend 4 days cleaning 27,000 kilograms of rubbish off the world's dirtiest beach.
Squiz Kids Correspondence.
New segment alert! New segment alert! The Squiz Kids community stretches all over Australia and all around the world. There are Squiz Kids in outback Australia, living on farms, on boats, and in high-rise apartments in big cities. Just as there are Squiz Kids tuning in from the USA, Great Britain, Singapore, Japan, New Zealand, Doha, Canada, France, the Netherlands, you name it. So, we've created Squiz Kids Correspondent, a new segment where we get to know the country we live in and the world around us by seeing it through the eyes of fellow Squiz Kids. So if you live somewhere interesting, either here in Australia or overseas, we want to know what your life is like. Where you live, what you love about it, what you don't like so much, what school is like there, what you eat for lunch, the one place you'd take us if we came to visit. Send in the story of your life and we'll play it on the podcast. There's a link to an information sheet about Squiz Kids Correspondence and how to become one in today's episode notes. And to kickstart proceedings, let's hear from Felix and Scarlett, a pair of Squiz Kids who live in Malaysia. Take it away, guys.
Hi, my name is Felix, and I'm 8.
And I'm Scarlett, and I'm 5.
And we live in Malaysia. We were born in Adelaide, and the reason we live here is because my dad is an international school teacher.
The capital of Malaysia is Kuala Lumpur, and we live 15 kilometers from the city centre. The main language spoken here is Bahasa, but we mostly at school learn Mandarin. This is how you say, my name is Scarlett and I live in Malaysia. 你好，我是可爱的，我讲马来西亚。
Before COVID, when we were at school, kids all ate at the canteen for lunch. Kids here eat food just like in Australia, except some more Asian food like rice, curry, fish and noodles. Oh yeah, and chicken wings. I really like chicken wings.
And the most surprising thing people eat here is chicken feet.
If a Squiz Kid ever visited us in Kuala Lumpur, we'd make sure we took them to the Petronas Towers and the Batu Caves, because the towers are 88 stories high and shaped like a star, and the Batu Caves have a giant gold statue. We listen to Squiz Kids in the mornings, and our favourite bits are Spin the Globe
and Animal Kingdom. We hope you're able to visit one day.
This is Felix and Scarlett in Kuala Lumpur signing off.
Now get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What's the name of the river in England which is home to venomous sharks? That's right, it's the River Thames. Question number 2. Name the YouTubers who have banded together to clean up the world's oceans. That's right, it's Mr. Beast and Mark Rober. Question number 3. What's the capital city of Malaysia? Home to our Squiz Kids correspondents. That's right, it's Kuala Lumpur.
Shout-outs.
It's November 12. Today is the start of Frog ID Week, where you can join thousands of amateur Aussie scientists helping to take stock of the health of our froggy population. There's an explainer link in today's episode notes. It's also a Friday, and you know what that means. An extra long birthday shout-out segment for which I'm going to rock out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it. And it's a happy birthday today to Heath from Inverell, Lizzie from the Gold Coast, Orlando from Thirroul, Logan from Mansfield, Anya from Point Cook, Summer Rose from Melton, Angus from West Beach, Emily from Mount Isa, and Ada from Fadden. Not forgetting, of course, all of those Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend. Liliana from Mount Martha, Terence from Epping, Tyra from Glen Innes, Eliana and Harrison from Pemulwuy, Anna from Blackburn South, Trixie from Launceston, Molly from Erskineville, Alejandro from Abbotsford, Juliet from Mont Albert North, Hayley from Malanda, Joshua from Willowdale, and Ollie from Melbourne. And a belated birthday shout-out goes to Lucy from Darlinghurst. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again on Monday. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.